guitar. So you watched the first hour of this movie, didn't quite finish it?
Yeah, it's pretty much like 2 hours, isn't it?
It's long. So you're like halfway through. Okay, yeah. So this movie's okay, but it was not great. It's kind of boring at parts. The effects are kind of cool. I hate how it looks though. I hate how this movie looks. It looks like vomit. It looks like it's gray all the way through. I get what they were trying to do. It's like post-apocalyptic. Everything is shitty, so we should make the film look shitty too. But no, it looks terrible. Everything's gray. It makes me feel like I'm like sucking on dust or something while I watch it, and I do not like it. But that being said, the effects are decent for the most part. They got shit like, I don't know if you got to the part where there's sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, but not really Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. But it's like an effect where they like digitally put his young face on somebody, I think. And it actually looks not that bad. It looks enough like him, because I guess this takes place like right before they send Kyle Reese to the future. Like it takes place before the first one, I think. Right?
Before he gets sent to the past, yeah.
That's what I understand. So, and something that I gotta give this one credit for, I think this is the only fucking one out of how many? 6 Terminator films that takes place the whole thing in the future. The only one that they don't go to present times, I think. So, you know, I haven't seen Dark Fate yet, and that's the only one I haven't seen other than this one. I've seen all the other ones. I love this franchise. Obviously, the first 2 are the best. You know, people say maybe second one's better. I'm probably close on that spectrum, that I think the second one is maybe slightly better, but so ever slightly. The first one's really good. Yeah, I love this franchise, and I love the world that they created around it. So it's cool to see finally the future, but it looks like shit. Like I said, the story's not great. Christian Bale is fine, I guess, but he yelled at a... I talked about this briefly earlier, but yeah, he yelled at a DP during this, which I forget exactly what that stands for, honestly, but like a member of the set, and it went viral. I remember, like TMZ or whatever had it.
Wasn't it a PA?
I'm pretty sure it was a DP. I'm gonna look it up right now though.
A production assistant.
Who did? Yeah, something like that. Production something. But who did?
Maybe it was the director of production.
Who did Christian Bale yell at during Terminator Salvation? But yeah. Terminator Salvation. Oh, director of photography. So he like a relatively like high title too. Director of photography. That's right. Yeah, he yelled at the DP, and that's actually famous. Someone at work, they put on there's even like a remix of it, like a EDM remix of it, where some of this shit that he says, I forget exactly, but it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and it's something like that. But anyway, you should look that up if you haven't heard it. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Christian Bale. This is the him freaking out movie. You don't see it in the movie, but the behind the scenes is what I'm talking about. And yeah, I think there's definitely like a mix of CGI and practical effects, which I appreciate. And yeah, the effects is like probably one of my favorite things about the movie. Like some of the CGI aged a little bit, but I feel like I can usually tell when they like have a real like robot or like, you know what I mean, an actual practical effect in there, and it looks good, mixing it together, because nowadays I think for the newer ones it's like it's all fucking CGI, no question about it, but, and I could be wrong, but I think that's right for the newer ones. Then remember, this was over 10 years old now. It's 2009. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed this movie, and I kind of just wanted to watch it because I'd never seen it before, and I like the Terminator franchise, and it's like the only one without Arnold actually in it. So I was like, this is the one people sort of forgot about, but I kind of wanted to just see, because I did like the concept. I was like, oh, it's in the future, but everyone says it's not very good. Let's check it out anyway, and you know what? People are generally right, I think, about this one. It's not that exciting. Like I said, it's very gray in its look. There's technically, it's in color. It's in color technically, but it feels like it's in gray a lot of the time. And that's my least favorite thing about it. It just looks like shit. But other than the effects, so you have those looking good, but in this terrible sort of gray tone for the color. But anyway, you haven't said much about it. I know you didn't watch the whole movie yet, but you're gonna probably, right? You're that far in it. You think you're gonna finish it?
Yeah, probably finish it just to see what they do with calories, because it's kind of cool to watch.
He's
that Christian. I can't remember his last name. That dude that passed away.
The actor's name?
Yeah, he plays calories in this. I thought he was good.
I don't know. He was one of the best parts about the movie, I'd say. He plays a good Kyle Reese, a good young Kyle Reese. He does say, "Come with me and you want to live," a lot, and like I get what they're trying to do, call back to the original, but it's like, okay, how many?
They should have done it once.
How much does he really say it? I think he says it like 3 times, like at least 2, at least 2.
Beginning.
Yeah.
Nice little wink would have been good.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I did think that he was pretty good. Terminator Salvations. I'm looking up the Wikipedia right now. Maybe that'll tell us. It's not Salvations. I always say it's Salvations. It's Salvation. But yeah, like I said, this is the one without Arnold. Although they put his face digitally on someone else, I think that's how they do that effect anyway. Because there's a point where, it's Christian Bale's fighting one of the Terminators, and it's one of the Arnold-looking ones, and it's the young Arnold, and even at this time, he wasn't young, and it obviously is digitally done, but it does look decent, I think. You didn't get to this part yet, I don't think, G-Bergs. Did you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's near the end-ish, and I can see what they were trying to do. They were like, yeah, we don't have Arnold, but we can, like, fucking sort of have him in it, kind of, because we have the rights to his image or whatever. But, he was the governor this time. I think that's why he's not, like, actually in it. I feel like he'd be in it, and it would, like, be more centered around him, too, if he was not the governor at the time when they were making it. But they were like, no, Christian Bale is John Connor. And I gotta talk about that, because he says his name a lot, too. He says, I'm John Connor. And I'm John Connor. And this one really funny bit, when he says his name, my personal favorite part, when he says his name, saying it to Kyle Reese, and Kyle Reese is on an elevator, and he's going up, and Christian Bale's on the ground, and Kyle Reese is like, who are you? And he's like, I'm John Connor. And it's just this scene where he's just sort of like standing like this, and you see a bird-eye sort of view of him from Kyle Reese's point of view, and he just looks sort of dumb, just like looking up, mouth open, like, I'm John Connor. It made me laugh out loud. I was like, man, this guy's stupid. Why is everyone following this guy? It doesn't seem that great. All we know about him is that he is the prophet. Everyone's standing by him, no matter what, no questions asked. But, like, I get it. He's the prophet. I guess that's all we need to know, but still seems mildly ridiculous. Anyway, I feel like there's something else I was going to say about Christian Bale and the crazy shit in this movie. I already talked about the effects. But, yeah, no, like we said, Kyle Reese was really good. Oh, we didn't talk about the guy who's, like, a part machine. So that's how the movie sort of starts, and that's like a big plot point of this movie, is that this guy, he shows up. I don't really get, honestly, maybe I wasn't paying attention for the beginning part, but I think he was like in prison, and they turned him into a robot. We don't find that till like middle of the movie, but they turned him into a robot, and he thinks he's human, and I guess he must have been in like some point of like stasis or something, because he's all of a sudden like from 2003 and now it's 2029 or 2018. It's 2018. The future of 2018 in this movie, I believe, is where it's set, and he wakes up in this future 2018. So I'm assuming he was in, and maybe I just missed. I might have just been not paying attention that they like put him into suspended animation or something. But yeah, I don't remember that. I don't, because I'm sort of like, how did he get here? But maybe they explained that. I don't know.
No, he just popped up out of that hole.
Yeah. So did they explain how he got in that hole?
He was. They just kind of hinted that he was part of that experiment at the beginning.
Yeah, I figured like it was sort of explained, but maybe not.
No, when the soldiers first get down and are walking around that cave, they flash him. Did you see him laying there? Down there in that cave?
Oh, okay.
Because they flash him with the light, and then he's actually on camera for a second. You see him laying there.
Oh, okay. I may have missed that. See, that's possible.
So there's human bodies in quotation marks down there, right?
Yeah.
So that's why all those guys were like, "What the fuck?" And then all that shit blew up after John Connor went back up to the top, and then he thought he was the only survivor, and then he crawled up out of the hole. Who knows why he was the only one? Like, it seemed like there's multiple bodies down there, but it's a movie, so.
No, yeah, it's true. You can suspend your disbelief a little bit, but let's look at what.
That's right.
Yeah, let's look at what the Wikipedia says. Let's see here. I think it made a little bit of money. It made more money than the new Terminator one, so credit to that. $200 million budget. That's a big budget still to make money from, so good for them. 371.4 million. Man, people went to movies in 2009, and 2008.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people really, like, The Happening, remember that movie's, like, so terrible with Mark Wahlberg. It made so much money. You could, like, I remember watching a video about that. I was like, you could make fucking literally any movie about anything and it would be a huge success. Kung Fu Panda, huge amount of money. Motherfucking The Happening, huge amount of money. Anyway.
I saw The Happening in theaters.
Me too. I think I was going to more movies then, like in high school for sure. So I feel like people are going to way less movies now, for sure now because of COVID. But even before that, even like in 2019, before COVID hit really hard, I feel like people were going to less movies. Like
I think I had a buddy who had seen The Happening already, and he took me like, dude, you gotta see this, and he thought it was so cool, and I was like, this is the lamest shit I ever
Not because
saw.
he thought it was funny, because he thought it was actually good.
I think he thought the twist of the plants killing everyone was cool.
It's not.
And I was like, yeah, no.
It's so dumb. Yeah. But honestly, that movie's, like, if you take it as a comedy, it is good. Just because the way that Marky Mark is acting in that film, it's like he has, like, child wonder, and it just feels like he was having the worst direction ever. But anyway, we should get back to talking about this movie. And I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'm missing about it. Oh, there is something they talk about T600s. So we're to believe, because before this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure T800 is the first model that we know about. Like, that's what Arnold is. He's a T800. And then the T1000 is Robert Patrick, the second one. And then I think they move up, and I think and then in the third one, the Lady Terminator is TX. So there you go. I guess that's more too, but yeah. So what I was trying to say is, it was interesting to show a little bit more in this world. So there was before the T800, there was a T600. Mildly interesting. Okay, thank you. So that's like one of the cool things about this though, is the world. So if you really like post-apocalyptic kind of shit, you might like this. It's kind of dull. It's nothing like new, except for the fact that it's in this future in the Terminator series, and that all the other movies have not done this. But that being said, did we really want this movie? Did we really need this movie? I don't think so. Just another installment in the franchise to make money, but still, it's kind of fun. Like, I didn't hate like I said, some of the effects are fun, some of the action is kind of enjoyable, but yeah, I didn't really care about the plot with the robot guy that much. It just could have been more interesting. I'm running out of shit to say. I think we should move on because I wasted so much time fiddling with the audio.
Let's go. Let's rate it.
Yeah, let's go. Out of 10 dogs. Okay, I think I'll go harass a Norwegian. Don't harass Brenda. Leave her alone. But bye, Dad. The elevator joke is wrong on so many levels. Oh, I get what you did there. 'Cause levels. Oh yeah, and they say that a whole bunch in this too. I'll be back. At least once, and it feels shitty when you hear it, and you're like, I get it. That was a thing they said in the first movie. But anyway, yeah. I'm gonna give this.
I agree.
Honestly, yeah. I'm gonna give it a solid this. It's not good, but it's just barely passed for me. So here we go.
I'm thinking like 6.
I gave it 5. Solid 5.
5. Yeah.
It wasn't great. 50-50.
I love the first Terminator, you know?
Yeah.
It has so much potential.
It's so good. And it could have been a prequel. And well, it was a prequel. So yeah, like what you said, it could have been better than it was. So